Hi, today we're going to finish the one and only Ivan, so let's get started. First chapter is called Door. Today the humans lead me to a door. On the other side, Kenyani and the others wait for me. I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready to be a silverback. I'm Ivan, just Ivan, only Ivan. I decide it's not a good day to socialize. I'll try again tomorrow. Wandering is the next chapter. All night I lie awake wondering about Ruby. Was she already walked through the door like the one I'm facing? Was she as scared as I am? Scared the way she must have been the day that she fell in that hole? I think of Ruby's endless curiosity and of the questions she loved to ask. Have you ever danced with a tiger, Ivan? Will your fur turn blue? Why doesn't that little boy have a tail? If Ruby were here with me, she'd be asking, "What's on the other side of the door, Ivan?" Ruby would want to know, and she would have been through the door by now. The next chapter is called Ready. Want to try again, Ivan? Maya asks. I think of Ruby, and I tell myself it's time. The door opens. The next chapter is called Outside at Last. Sky, grass, tree, ant, stick, bird, dirt, cloud, wind, flower, rock, rain, mine, mine, mine. Oops, I sniff. Approach, strut a bit, but the others don't welcome me. They have sharp teeth and loud voices. Did I do something wrong? Kiani chases me. She throws a stick at me. She corners me. I know that she's testing to see if I am a true silverback, one who can protect her family. I cower and hide my eyes. Maya lets me back into my cage. The next chapter is what it was like. I lie awake and try to remember what it is like being a gorilla. How do we move? How do we touch? How do we know who was boss? I try to think past the babies and the motorbikes and the popcorn and the short pants. I try to imagine Ivan as he might have been. The next chapter is called Pretending. The juvenile male approaches. He's eyeing my food hungrily. I imagine a different Ivan, my father's son. I grumble and swat and swagger. I beat my chest till the whole world hears it. Kiani watches, and so does the others. I move towards the young upstart, and he retreats, almost as if he believes I am the silverback and I am pretending to be. The next chapter's title is Nest. I'm making a nest on the ground. It isn't a true jungle nest. The leaves are inferior and the sticks are brittle. They snap when I weave them into place. The others watch, grunting their disapproval. Too small, too flimsy, an ugly thing to see. But when I climb into the leafy cradle, it's floating on the treetops in a mist. More TV. Maya wants me to go back into my glass cage. I can tell because she's tempting me towards the door with a trail of tiny marshmallows. I try to ignore her. I don't want to leave the outside. It's a cloudless day, and I've found just the right spot for a nap. But I relent. When she adds in yogurt raisins to the trail, she knows my weaknesses all too well. In the glass cage, the TV is on. It's another nature show, jerky and unfocused. I expect to see gorillas, but none appear. I hear a shrill sound, like a toy trumpet. My heart quickens. I rush close to the screen, and there she is, Ruby. She is rolling in a lovely pool of mud with two other young elephants. Another elephant approaches. She towers over Ruby. She strokes Ruby, nudges her, and she makes soft noises. They stand side by side, just the way Stella and Ruby used to do, their trunks intertwined. I see something new in Ruby's eyes, and I know what it is. It's joy. I watch the whole thing, and then Maya plays it again for me, and again. At last she turns off the TV and carries it out of my cage. I put my hands to the glass. Maya looks over. Thank you, I try to say with my eyes. Thank you. The next chapter is called It. Gianni ambles towards me. She taps me on the shoulder, and Knuckle runs away. I watch her, arms crossed over my chest. I'm careful not to make a sound. I'm not sure what we're doing. She ambles back, shoves at me, dashes past, and then I realize what's happening. We're playing. We're playing a tag, and I'm it. The next chapter is called Romance. Make eye contact, show your form. Strut, grunt, throw a stick, grunt some more. Make some moves. Romance is hard work. It looks so easy on TV. I'm not sure I will ever get the hang of it. The next chapter is called More About Romance. I wish Bob was here. I could use some advice. I try to recall all the romance movies we've watched together. I remember the talking and the hugging and the face licking. I'm not very good at this, but it's fun trying. The next chapter is called Grooming. Is there anything sweeter than the touch of another as she pulls a dead bug from your fur? The next chapter is called Talk. Gorillas aren't chatty, like humans, prone to gossip and bad jokes. But now and again, we swap a story under the sun. One day, it's my turn. I tell my troop about Mac and Ruby and Bob and Stella and Julia and George, about my mother and my father and my sister. When I'm done, they look away, silent. Kiani moves closer. Her shoulders brush mine, and we let the sun soak into our fur together. The next chapter is called The Top of the Hill. I've explored every nook and cranny of this place except for a hill at the very far end where the workers have been repairing a wall. They're finally gone. They left behind fresh white brick and a mound of black dirt. While the others laze in the morning sun, I want to explore the hilltop. They've been there before, and I've not. Everything is still fresh in my eyes. I take my time going uphill, savoring the feel of grass on my knuckles. The breeze carries the shouts of the children and the drowsy hum of the bumblebees. Near the top of the hill is a low limbered tree, the kind my sister would have loved. The wall is endless, clean and white, stretching far down to the habitats behind my own. It's high and wide, carefully built to keep us in and others out. This is, after all, still a cage. It rained last night, and the pile of dirt is soft to the touch. I scoop up a handful and breathe in the loamy smell. It's a rich brown color, heavy and cool in my palm, and the wall waits like an endless blank billboard. The next chapter is called The Wall. It's a big wall, but it's a big pile of dirt, and I'm a big artist. I slap a handful of mud on the warm cement. I make a handprint. I tap my nose with a muddy finger. I make a nose print. I slide my palms up and down. The mud is thick and hard to use, but I keep moving and scooping and spreading. I don't know what I'm making, and I don't care. I make swoops and swirls and thick lines, figures and shapes, lights and shadows. I am an artist at work. When I am done, I step back to admire my work, but it's a large canvas and I like to get a better view. I go to the thick limbered tree and grab the lowest branch. I try to swing my legs. Oomph! I land hard. I'm too big to climb, I suppose. I try again anyway, and this time I pull myself up onto the first limb, gasping for breath. One more limb, two, and I can't go any further. Perched halfway up the tree, I see my troop, still dozing contentedly. I take in the walls, splattered and splashed with mud. Not much color, but lots of movement. I like it. It feels dreamy and wild, like something Julia might have made. From my seat in the tree, I can see beyond the wall. I see giraffes and hippos. I see deer with legs like delicate twigs. I see a bear snoozing in a hollow log. I see elephants. The next chapter is called Safe. She's far away, belly deep in tall grass with others by her side. Ruby. She's here, Stella, I whisper. Ruby's safe, just like I promised. I call to Ruby, but the wind tugs at my words, and I know she'll never hear me. Still, Ruby pauses for a second, her ears spread wide like tiny sails. Then, with lumbering grace, she moves on through the grass. The next chapter is called Silverback. It's a cloudy evening, chill and drizzling. Dinner is on its way, but I don't care. At night we sleep in our den, but I'm always the last to head inside. I've been inside long enough. This time of day, there aren't many visitors, just a few stragglers leaning on the wall that separates us. They point, take a couple photos, then head over to the nearby giraffes. One of the keepers is beckoning. Reluctantly, I turn to go. Out of the corner of my eye, I see something running. I pause. It's a girl with dark hair, lugging a backpack. A man follows behind, racing to catch up. Ivan! The girl yells. Ivan! It's Julia. I scramble to the edge of the wide moat that skirts the wall. Julia and George wave to me. I dash back and forth, hooting and grunting, doing a gorilla dance of happiness. Why, welcome back. Calm down, says a voice. You're behaving like a chimp. I freeze. A tiny, nut-brown, big-eared head pops out of Julia's bag. Nice place, Bob says. Bob, I say, it's really you. In the flesh. How? Where? I can't seem to find any words.
Are you taking that whole story?
I am. So can you please walk away till I'm finished? Hush.
How many pages do you have left?
3 more pages. George's job at the zoo doesn't start till next month. So he and Julia made an agreement. She's walking 3 extra dogs to cover my food. And get this, they're all poodles. You said you didn't want a home, I say. Yeah, Bob says. But Julia's mom likes my company, so I figured I'd be doing everybody a favor. It's a win-win. Julia pushes Bob's head back inside the backpack. You're not supposed to be here, she reminds him. Ivan looks great, doesn't he, Jules? George asks. Stronger, happier, even. Julia holds up a little, let me read that again. Stronger, happier, even. Julia holds up a little photo, but it's too far away for me to see. It's Ruby, Ivan. She's with the other elephants now. Because of you. I know, I want to tell her. I saw with my own eyes. We stare across the expansion that separates us. After a while, George pats Julia's arm. Time to go, Jules. Julia gives a wistful smile. Bye, Ivan. Say hello to your new family. She turns to George. Thanks, Dad. For what? For, she gestures towards me, for this. They turn to leave. The lamps that light the zoo pathway blink on, blanketing the world with yellow light. I can just make out Bob's little head sticking out of the Julia's backpack. You are the one and only Ivan, he calls. I nod, then turn towards my family, my life, my home. Mighty Silverback, I whisper. And that is the end of the one and only Ivan. So, this was a historical fiction piece, which means that there is some truth to this story. So, the fiction part is definitely that gorillas don't talk, and neither do dogs. That is a fictional part of this story. But there is some truth behind this, and there really was an Ivan. So, what I'm going to do is, in the next couple days, I am going to post some videos, news articles. They're not to read, they're to watch. So, like news videos that you can watch about the actual one and only Ivan. So it's pretty cool. I think you'll enjoy it. It'll make you appreciate the story even more. All right, thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this book. I know I do.